So here's a real critical moment right here is 8:30 at night Eastern Standard Time. These markets go kind of nuts now. I'm trying to buy the British pound in pullbacks, and I'm running just a 15-minute buy limit bank that's 5 pips apart on each ticket. There's 3 tickets. There's a 3K, and then there's another 3K that's on the half hour. And I made those red, even though they're not sells. You typically associate buy and sell with the color. This is hard coded in. I can't change the stop here. This is the stop for the, it doesn't correspond to this red arrow, but the 15 minutes are the blue, and the reds are half an hour. So these are a little higher risk maybe. And if you're writing these scripts, say you make white 8 hours, and you can make 6, I think you get about, 20 colors available. So if you had to tell somebody, listen, you see those red orders, they look like, wow, it's never coming down there. But you're like, that's a half-hour news script. So when the market goes nuts, and these are 7.5 pip stops hard on each arrow has a 10 pip to a 7 pip stop, looking to make 25 pips. So it's really just a scalp retracement plunge thing. It's kind of get her done. It's just a get her done trade. And then there's the buy stop. But none of these are running buy stops now. I'm trying to get in the Australian dollar 2 on pullbacks. So here's the 15. And then here comes the 30. And I wove it in between. So I'm canvassing more area. And you don't have to draw, but you can draw. You can mark off the critical double tops. This should be your where everybody wants to get in before we go up, or the market. They're going to bid it down. They're going to force the market. If you see these really hard moves like this, it's nothing but like this big price vacuum getting filled. But actually the vacuum's here. The vacuum is forming the whole time this kind of fizzly trend was going on. So once they trip the thing here, kaboosh. So you clean house to here, but you could have either bought this whole vacuum, had you spaced all the orders, spread it thin enough, or you could have started buying really heavy here and never got filled on this bank that you were prepared to buy all the way down. And then this is the classic, come back to the triple top. This is the shoulder, head, shoulder becomes the bottom. This was the trend traders. You get the classic breakout, you pull back, you got 1 hour to pull the trigger. Got a beautiful double top internally here. You're launching off of that. Here's the trend line forming now. And of course, they want to try to finish the week off and just kind of make this like a saucer bottom week in all these currencies. And so it's a trading range right now, because this is going to complete. But the nice thing here is that that in the next half hour, all these orders will be gone, because the blues, if you now keep track of the last time you dropped, this is like cooking food, I suppose. You don't want to leave anything on the burner too long. Especially if it's the same price, you're just duplicating the same mistake. The idea here is that you wait for the market to react in some type of psychotic way. And I used to have this volatility alarm. All it was is I set the robot to tell me when the 1 period moving average crossed over the 2, and it was always happening. Well, it happens, or some type of ATR alarm would be sweet. So, when ATR goes to 50 pips, you're like, what, break out the psycho limit orders. Just still haven't heard it. I'm still waiting to hear that word volatility come out of the mouths of the disempowered trading group. And you're just not going to hear it. That's a real easy. One night I ran hedges. I wrote a doji script that kind of like, I guess you're going to get chopped. If it plays out wrong, you're going to get any type of hedge you put on. You risk getting whipsawed if you're not going to hold on to it till the market makes a substantial move and let go of the hedge and then put it back on. And then look for it to come back the other way. Leg in, leg out, but you can't leg in and leg out when the market's trading sideways because the commissions will just kill you, or the spread would kill you. So here I could put a buy stop in on the Australian dollar right now, but I'm not in anything. The best prices are below me. I kept saying that this morning for the buyers. And there was the raid this morning. No surprise there. The last videotape I did, I got out here on this, and I went to take a nap. So I got it right out here. The last, and here comes the market slamming below here. So if your buy limit started here today, it went all the way down and down and down, realizing this is only 5 pips. This is easier than, so if you're going to really trade these big things, you trade 10K. Now you're 30K. You're in almost 40K. You didn't get filled. So you put 100K in here. I don't know why. I guess it's inconceivable just watching a Mark Douglas tape that's out there. You better download it before somebody rips it down. I think somebody's going to probably pull that. People get around to that stuff. But you have to go only search back 1 month. This year, Mark Douglas on YouTube. So it's a whole DVD. He divulges all these stories that I never heard before about him. Just amazing stories. People trading so big that every tick is like 38 grand or something. Guys moving the markets. So he describes in that video right there how you need to put up he doesn't talk about the volatility. He doesn't talk about order placement, but he does. I mean, he doesn't say, oh, here, look at you putting a... But he makes it painfully obvious that without him saying, okay, here's where you get in. It's like, obviously, when you see the market run up within a half a pip, 1 pip window, and then come back off that, people... it's not a surprise, and but it's a fascinating video because floor traders would never think to look at a chart. They're just like, hey, I'm up on the trade, I'm getting out. It's just a complete flow of money. And then some guy in the audience said, I can't believe the arrogance of some of these traders in the audience. Like the one guy is a stock trader. He says, well, hey, just hold on to it. He's like, dude, I can't hold on to it. He says, I'm like, at the end of the day, it's real money. He said, he goes, stock trading's not real money. That's just you, piece of paper. It goes to zero. All right. You only lost what you put in. It's great. Great video. After the guy divulges how he lost everything he owned, and why don't you just get out? Why don't you scale out, man? Guy asks him, why don't you scale out? You were in 2 contracts of silver. Why don't you just get out of 1 leg? He's like, it doesn't work like that, man. Because as long as I'm in without a stop or, whatever, you're already owe the clearinghouse money. I don't know. And the other thing that was fascinating is that when he said that he told his family he was going to become a trader or a broker, and they just looked at him like he said he's going to open a whorehouse. Like, they just had I mean, that's the hardest thing is when you tell somebody you're going to trade and they go, that's gambling. I'm like, damn tootin'. Damn tootin' it is. Okay, so here I'm putting another blue bank. But it's a good thing I didn't buy, huh? Yeah, all the best prices are below me. If I'm a buyer, if they come down below this. Now here's where you could hand place orders, but here I'm just trying to pick up the static Like we may never make it back down below. Like, who doesn't want this thing to come down? So the dream trade would have been here. You're buying every 5 pips below here now. You just have to think ahead of the crowd here. Say tomorrow NFP comes out or whatever. I don't know, fucking it's coming out. Wouldn't matter, right? It's like, can you afford this risk? And then you buy every 2.5 pips. If you bought this 10 pip window this morning, you didn't even get filled on this bottom thing. You only got filled on a 7K, and it goes ripping up. I don't get this. Another thing with these disempowered trading guys, they're like, well, let's find a ratio. Okay, here's ratio. I'll risk this much, and I'm going to make 1.5 times that. I'm like, dude, I can show you that trade all day long. But nobody's going to put their order down there. They're like, I don't see a bat wing yet. I don't see my moving averages. RSI's not in the right spot. Dude, what do you think RSI looked like on this big, like, absolutely flush out down move? What? And if you want to be the guy that pulls the trigger, at the moment the market comes into this trap, this obvious bear trap, that's a problem. You gotta babysit slept through it. No, you just have a scatter blade amount of orders in here. Some of these, maybe 50% of your accounts cashed out by the time you make it back up into this, where you know this price actually exists. And you knew this was the comeback, the pullback come in, so you're already buying from here. And if this is going to satisfy your, I don't want to miss out on the trade. Well, get in a higher risk zone here where you're going to have to take more heat. Now, this one's going to have the 25 pip stop. So if your max stop's 25 pips and you look over here on your list of orders you can place and you're like, okay, I'm looking for anything with it, I'll put in that kind of stop. Okay, here's going to pull back. So, just got filled on this buy limit from the British pound. Okay, now I'm going to put more on. Now this is the 15 running. And this is the 30 again. Now just wait another half hour, come back to this. You're babysitting this thing. It's like having a kid that every hour you got to roll him over and smack him around. Not that I would do that. That's why I don't have kids around here. Come here, kid. If I had a kid, I'd have his hand strapped to the trading mouse. No, kid. You see this go down? Hit this buy limit button. In fact, if this thing comes screaming down, then I pull this trigger, which is the 1 hour super deep. Now this could be a different color here. So let's make that one white. That's my by the end of the world script. Everybody's like, oh no, where's it going? I don't know. I'm just going to make this white. I don't know, people are so freaked out by the market. Obviously, they never accept the risk up front. Another Mark Douglas amazing comment. If you have any feeling, any emotion at all, you have not accepted the risk up front. You're just like, wow, I hope this trade works out. Man, I did a lot of analysis on this. Did you hear the fundamental news about the British pound? Yeah. Okay, so where's your stop again? Oh, let's not talk about stops. I don't trade with stops. Come on. Give me a break. So here's now the 15s are blue because it is a fucking mess. Here's the $15 yen buy. And it doesn't matter what currency. Now, dollar yen is really on fire, so you have to trade a little wider here. This script may not run on this currency right now. We'll take of course, hey, it's only 3K, right? For some people, that's just walking around money. $3,000. Okay, let's put on this cant. We'll take this and put the little arrows on. Those balls are. You can't see it says the 15-minute. And look at it, would have worked out beautiful here, right? But that's why you'd be scalping on this thing. you wouldn't be thinking, oh, well, I'm going to get in here and ride it for another. Yeah, really? So here's the yen crapping out on the 4-hour right at the round, pulls back, bash. Trend traders entry. Very, very slight pullback, and here is the top become a bottom on the 4-hour. Perfect top bottom relationship. There's your setup. Tee it up like a. You get this on the dollar yen quite a bit. Dollar yen's notorious for this perfect setup. And you can't get better than that. This parallelogram effect here. It really doesn't get any better than that. Flag, pennant, whatever you want to call it. And look at how this is the bottom here. Is this stupid? You got to be pretty dumb to trade. Another thing. I'm sure all these other people went to school and everything. Here's your buy limit, right? But this could become the failure here. We could get a complete pullback. And when this news comes out, we could be slamming all the way back to, for just a moment, for just a wick. Yeah, this is 200 pips. Can this plunge 200 pips tomorrow on the news? Maybe it can. So if you put in a limits down here, and I'm not exactly sure where these are going, this should come in about 80 pips deep. So that's just one order. No, that's not that deep. I think I changed this. Yeah, that is, I guess that is 80 pips deep. That's right. Well, that's 80 pips. God's sakes. I mean, you have to come in here and manually place orders to buy here. Say, now you got to put about a. Here's a 20 pip stop to make 40 pips. Put it here. Right? I don't know how much effort that is, but make that order last like a day. You don't want to be coming back here and keep putting this stupid ass order in. But the ones that are really close to the market, those are the ones that are going to be your aggressive. So when the market starts dropping like this is my signal to start putting. I'm going to put the half hour in here and another 15 because I'm not in big enough. I'm only in 1K. I need to have a little bit more than 1K going here. Okay, I'm getting a buy signal on the Australian dollar. I'm just going to get on stops here on the 15. And here's the euro dollar. I put a grid up here of every 5 pips I put a 1K. All the way up on the euro. That's starting game, and then I can run the hotkey here for the buy limits. So if I want to buy here on the 15s, and the next one I put here was to buy on the it starts at 25 pips deep for half an hour. So this is really conservative. I mean, this next order bank here, the colors aren't any different here, but this is like real money. So here's the half hour script running down in here. Not that we're going down there, but just so that we could slam down there. You got to figure, don't forget anything's possible. Another thing, we watch this Smirk Douglas tape, you'll see why there's these spikes in the market. It makes sense. Look at this smash down here. And where was the exit on the euro? Look, we're right at the round right now. It's a big battle here. We get a kickback washout here. Here's the 15-minute trend line that was broke. This is a 5 pip grid. A lot of people, if your spread was tight enough, your buy limits were right in here, and you just picked up this little scalp. Well, I think we can still come back to this, and if we plunge down all the way to this double top, this is supposed to be, the sellers are feeding off that on the 4-hour. This triple trend line was broke. The killer entry was to have buy limits on this shoulder, head, and the head, and here. So your buy limits this morning should have all been, it's pretty obvious. You don't need to, you've already established this is going to be a big issue, this price. This bottom became a top here in the 4-hour. This was already considered to be a pivot. At least the targets for the retracement traders, the complete engulf traders. So as the market comes down, and this is this is the 4-hour chart. So say you're just committed to buy everything for 50 pip window on this thing, and this is the grid that you put out there that lasts just all time. Now you're going to look at the dropping more aggressive grids that last, say, 8 hours, a 12-hour grid, and you've got the everything's based around this. In other words, there's a static grid in here at first, and then there's a logical hotspots. So if we ever come back to this price, even though we're trading up here, we want to buy. And we want to buy every new low also. So we're already committed to this zone in advance, if you believe the market is a buy low, sell high game. Okay, perfectly. Pulling back still on the Australian. Now I'm going to put buy stops in. Above. Pretty aggressive buy. I want to buy this pullback just for the bounce tonight. And then, so maybe you made money on this, right? Maybe all you did was buy this thing and get out here and you're fine. It went going up without you, but hopefully you had sell limits here to capture the and sell limits here. And this is only a 10 pip window. So you have a 10 to 15 pip. I guess those guys at Gartley Trading Company, they call it kill zone. Look at the pullback on this puppy. So yeah, this was just silly. You didn't have to be there for this. You could have had a day job. This is the 4-hour chart. So placing these kind of grids, I think, is the answer for somebody that cannot babysit this nonsense. How these markets behave and misbehave. Well, it seems like it's misbehaving if you're expecting something else to happen. And the very fast moves, these short-lived moves, those are not only is it moving quick one direction, but it can just turn on a dime. It can keep slicing down. And these hot spots, there's only on this chart here, this is Sunday night, there's only this bottom to notice from Sunday night. The sellers come in here. The kind of confirmation people have sell stops here, and they made money too, but who's cleaning up is the guy that said, oh, I'm just, every time it goes up a little, I mean, this is like... And there's people that are squeezed out. They have to get the hell out. This thing is crushing through. And here's the hope for the bulls for a moment. Got one little rally. And then bammo. And now the perfect head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder. It's over. If we can come back to this for a bounce to here for the scalp, and maybe here to this 25-yard line. This is high probability trades. And even after this move to here, this is still going to be the popular price. This is where there's plenty of fuel for this to take out this double top. We have to refuel the rocket. Let's come back to the starting gate. Come back to the launching pad. And this is the 10 pip window to make 50 pips. Clean up. You definitely have your targets beyond here where you would normally be reversing to for a scalp. I don't know how much scalp you got there. But your sell limits start here now. Duh. Just wouldn't ever want to waste your time at this point with a Gartley and all that stuff. You just need to be trading this thing. Here's the 15-minute again. But the market hasn't moved. Just a little bit. There's another thing is that when the market really heats up and you start dropping these kind of outrageous, like, oh, in a half an hour we're coming back here. Yeah, right, buddy. But it does. The market can do that. And look at how they're flirting with the top of this for the breakout. I'm not in, though. Now, if I think it's going to spike up here, since these last 12 hours, I'll trim this one out, and I'll just move. I'll just let that go, because I think we're going to go spiking up. Okay, here comes the news, something on the Australian dollar. So I'm buying this on a psycho spike. Let me put some more. They've probably disappeared. Now, see, the 15 minutes have disappeared here. So I'm going to put in the 15-minute guy and the half hour wrapped around it. I'm already in this British pound trade. I got one buy stop. I think this is my bad order entry. I think I'm running buy stops on this. That could be a plunge. No, that could be. I don't know. I changed these comments on these, so. But I watched the tech chart on the Australian dollar here, and now I could put in one high risk entry there, a buy stop, 1 pip above. So we came back to this top. This would be where you'd probably load up on stops or market orders for the scalp here. And if your buy limit got filled here, that's really where you want to get in. If your bull is on this kickback. Here, I'll put in a buy stop. Let's take a look at the tech chart. We're looking for that crazy pullback. I'll just put in more buy limits. Looks like they're going to smash it down. Internet done smashing the Australian here. So this 5-minute window before the top of the hour, we could get a big smash down. No, I guess those are... yeah, that's the buy stop. So they just picked me up. It's really a market order. If you're going to buy 1 pip above, come on, you nuts. And I'm just going to keep putting this 30-minute in here, and I'm going to put the 1 hour in there in case it goes down to Hellville. I made the 1 hours are white. So this is what it would look like if you were to hit this every hour. You would hit the 15, the 30, and the 1 hour. Look like this. And this would make sense. Here's your 15-minute. Can the market plunge this far in 15 minutes? Can it plunge this far in a half hour? And the white ones would be the hour. And the hour is 4K spread all the way down to the ultimate entry is down here. And if you were running this script this morning and you hit the 1 hour, you would have captured on this white. If you only do the whites, if you only trade the 1 hour script, looks like this. Now this canvas is a whole zone here. And this might run way better on the yen because the yen is so brutal. So maybe you want to run this style or this amount of width on the yen. Now that's the 15-minute and that's the 1 hour. And that makes sense to me. Now if you wait an hour, if you wait a half hour and hit this again after the market's moved, so the volatility does kick up, then okay, buy stop here on the British pound. So this is 1 hour British pound. We've got a top, becomes a bottom, and we're coming back to this little, we're forming the flag. So you want to actually accumulate and load up during the flag. Put something in. So we got picked up. We're up 5 cents on this Australian dollar. Just killing it. About to get stopped out of Australian dollar though. Top of the hour, big deal. Could get a big backlash here. Australian could plunge. So I'm going to just run the half hour now. And here is the 1 hour again. But the price is duplicate. So that's a bad thing. You want to wait maybe every half hour to drop the 1 hour. If you drop a 2 hour script and you wait every hour, then you're overlapping by an hour of exposure, but it's giving you a better curve fit to capture if it's dropping at a rate of X. And these guys are disappearing, and then here's the next layer. You've always got a standing bank of X amount of risk. If right here you dropped an 8 hour grid that bought every 10 pips for 8 hours. So if that order gonna last 12 hours or 6 hours, maybe it only buys every 15 pips. Now you probably want to get another computer for that. Get a laptop. Get a tablet for $80 and just put on the long-term grids on that. And maybe it never fills. But at least, and then you just write the script here. You'd say tablet here in the comment. So you'd know that order came from your tablet. And you're like, okay, let's just let that go. Don't delete that. That's the strategy to buy the grid. Just random. Just if trying to figure this market out is another stupid idea, right? After you get done watching Mark Douglas, you'll figure that, you know what, I just have to rethink everything you ever thought about direction and predicting and all that garbage. If you just bought every 10 pips here, how'd you do? You put your buy limit in here the day of, well, just right here on this top, after this top is made. And then you put a buy limit on this top. I'm sorry. A buy limit when we're over here, though, right? I'm saying that after we've made this run, where would we come back to? Here. And so you captured, this was maybe your scalp. Well, maybe you let the whole thing go. Let it fill up. It's only a 1 hour chart. Jesus. Oh, God. I don't want to go off on an angry rant, but seriously, when you watch these guys trade and try to predict the entry, and after you watch Mark Douglas, you put that together and you just giggle. You're like, why don't you just let the market just do its thing? You just put your orders out there. Why are you getting all this? Well, you know, that Batwing, we redesigned our cipher. Are they kidding? Do they really think that we're that stupid? It was $3,500 for my course. What do? Listen, right now, download the get it before it's deleted. This is the new game in town. Okay, we got this beautiful pullback. I'm going to put a buy stop in the Australian now. Just come at the top of the hour. I'm going to go with the crowd on this one. Okay, volatility breakout. We've had 3 hours of pullback. We're looking to clean house on these. So I'm just going to hit this, a demo account. I'm just going to hit the button like a pig. So I just stacked up on the 1 pip above theory of life. It's just a market order, for God's sakes. But it could plunge. So I put the, here's the 15, here's the 30. I'm going to throw in the kitchen sink, and here's the 1 hour. There you go. You're done. You can't buy anymore. If it makes a higher high, you're chasing it. You missed out. You screwed up. And if it's against the dollar, is there anything else I can put? The spread here sucks. Another reason why you don't want to trade the British pound. Unless you're going to trade it from the limit side, they're going to kill you. 2.5 pip spread? What are you, nuts? Better to go to the yen, which is in a psychotic amount of pip range, and the spread is 1.5. Now here I'm going to run the trolling 15-minute script. So I'm actually going to trade all these currencies tonight with this this system. 1 hour is the max. And look at the 1 hour order on here. It just looks like, are you kidding? Maybe that's a little too tight. So this is not the, that was a 4 hour chart. Here it makes sense. Here, look at all these trolling orders. Look at this stupid. This is so stupid. How aren't these people getting it? Tell me where your stop is, and I know where to get in. Just tell me, what's your stop again? I mean, no, nothing. Don't take it personally. Where's your stop? And here's the volatility breakout order. So I'm going to get in aggressive here. I'm going to try to blow up this account. Now, there's another thing. Try to blow up the account on the demo first. Paper trade this, people. You just have to trade it around your lifestyle. If you can't sit up all night and smoke crack, you're not going to be a night scalper. It's not in the cards for you. Okay. Now we're just waiting for this, whatever's going to happen by the bottom of the hour. So there should be some big, everybody's going to be all excited. I don't know, something's closing over there. You'd have to check the time in all these different places overseas. You got to check the time over there. I'm in $24 a margin. I'm in the British pound. I'm in the I'm also buying the dollar yen here. Without regard to the whatever, I guess it's a hedge. That'll be my buy limit stop hedge here. I'm diversifying my portfolio. Okay, another pullback possibly coming in this Australian. Okay. More buy limits on the euro. All the way to Memphis. Come back into this trendline break. Here's the 1 hour orders. Now the 1 hour orders go all the way to 45 pips deep. Ridiculous. For this currency, I don't think it's a good fit. I mean, you really think it's coming down here in an hour? I wish, right? It's the dream of all dreams. Look at this dream trade today. Man, just the most perfect 4 hour Wednesday, middle week. Now it's easy, right? Now we know this is a great buying zone. This up here, double bottom's a great selling zone. The one thing about a market, when it's going into all new fresh territory, like falling to hell down here, this is a little difficult. This 25 pip wick here, you've got to be running your grids way deep, psycho deep, to capture that. That's why on another computer, if you run a static grid that's just, I'm buying every 25 pips it goes down. I don't care. And that thing's running. Maybe just on an account that all that you do is that, right? You just take $100 and just run grids. Just run power grids, whatever you want to call them. Come up with some silly acronym. And yeah, but let's just spike a Rama. Imagine you bought this on a grid system. I'm buying every 25 pips for the next 200 pips with a master stop, one case. How'd that trade work out? My first exit on this is going to be here. Last known. I'll let the rest go. I don't think they're going to take that out. Just let the rest go. How'd that work out for you? Same thing here. Start buying everything from here in the 4 hour. How'd that work out for you? If you can't see when the next buy limits come, you got to go to the eye doctor. We got to buy this. We'd bail here. Sell here. Cash out the 25 pip. You may not get it. It may go roaring through the top of this. Look for the highest high. This sell scalps should already be placing next week's orders up here. Hey, you're going to sell this all the way to the round to come back to where you got in for the easy money, the easy 50 pips up here. First, we got to trap these guys. So tonight's trap zone is to sell all the way into here for a kickback of 25 pips. So if you sold here, these guys are going to cash out here. These guys cash. You may blow through this whole bank. You may get more money buying the pullbacks, the breakouts as we break out into this. Now, in the right time frame, if this does not fill these buy limits, and I don't get filled on these, and every 5 minutes that this kind of drifts down, of course, we're going to have to wait. The better prices are below us for the buys. Okay, looks like Australia is going to finally... No, it's not. But I'm making money on the yen. See? There you go. On the pound. Australia is a little bit... It's fighting it. But you can see the... if you're... It's everything against the dollar mentality, then you're looking for anything that's in the... Maybe 15 minutes from now, the Australia will be in a setup and it'll be running buy stops to get picked up. So you're either pro-dollar or you're anti-dollar. But I'm pro-dollar against the yen just because, hey, you know what? It's down in this... it just sold off really hard and it's supposedly in an uptrend. But it is definitely scary. They could turn on a dime. Here's the argument for, oh, you know what? This triple bottom is now resistance. But maybe you're just going to scalp out of that. But this is a scalp trade, who cares? Okay, looks like a turnaround and get some kind of conclusion to this window here, this 20-minute window. But this is when the vacuums get filled, is you're coming into the possibility of just filling this whole zone up here that's been forming all this uncharted water up here, and then maybe they just clip it to this, and that's it. It's over. So my profits, I'll be getting out right up into that. Just get out. See, now my yen's falling apart. The dollar's getting hit. So if I just switch to the yen, I can just pull this yen trade off. In fact, I don't want to look at this much stuff, so those are slight winners. But the bigger winner, I say, for the buys, this looks like it is the rollover. I would go like this, and just keep running this retracement, 1 hour retracement on the yen. And this could be a 6 hour order here. You could buy every 5 pips for the next 8 hours. That's really the cool thing about it, is that you don't have to have any type of other than the volatility. That's all that matters, is what is the ATR. If you go to the yen on the daily, and you see this perfect top become a bottom here on the closing daily, it matches this one. And this is also a ricochet off the 100-yard line. That was a big deal. The sellers are going to come in up here, so you can just put your sell limits, wrap it around this monster pivot, top, bottom dojis right here. Anytime you see a flat line, So that's pretty easy, right? Tell all your friends and neighbors, sell this thing if it goes up 200 pips, right? To make 100 pips back into this top, possibly. Okay, I guess we're in 24K still. I'll have to get stopped out of the... or no, we just got filled on buy stops, I guess. I don't know. So let this wave complete, and then if this can go smashing up into here, we're out of this, out of the British pound. The entry was to buy this plunge on super tight. Of course, look at the spread sucks, right? So don't trade the pound up with this broker. It's not worth it. Australian dollar's not bad. Still 2 pips though. Okay, we're looking to break this trend line on the 15 minute. 15 minutes really gives a good trend line break. We could keep plunging though. But this is the entry. When you see them make a new low here. But we may have to collapse all the way down here and capture all those buy limits. So here's the half hour. Would cover that zone. It's hard to trade a bunch of currencies that have wild ATRs with a static script like that, because a 15 pip grid's not going to be too much overload. Just overload that technique. So we're waiting for the bottom of the hour here. We'll see what the conclusion here is. I'm in $24 a margin. I'm down 90 cents. Probably in about 15K here.